and I'm building HackMatch. And what HackMatch is it's the easiest way for hackers to find the perfect startup to join. It's fine. And the way that I'm doing that is I'm completely flipping recruiting on its head and reversing the way it's done. Instead of dealing with technical recruiters, you apply to HackMatch, and if you get in, you get your very own agent, and they handle everything for you. All you have to do is interview. So they help you find the right startup, they help coach you on interviews, they help you negotiate your contract. Right now we don't do people's laundry, but we'll get there too. So pretty much like you can just build awesome shit and not have to worry about anything else. And that's kind of my vision, that, that there exists space in the current market for there to be a world where you can just build things and just solely focus on that and not have to worry about money, not have to worry about things like that. So kind of the first problem that I'm tackling is that a lot of hackers don't even know where to start looking for the right startup. It sounds obvious that there's like all these startups in the valley and like you can ask your friends and that kind of thing, but what was really surprising to me is that there isn't really a good product to just go through a list of startups. The closest thing is probably AngelList Talent right now, and it's just so noisy. There's 50,000 startups that raised $250,000 plus in the last year, and a lot of them are not that amazing. There's a lot of great ones too, but there's just a lot of like noise to go through, and it's an interesting problem where the more options that you have, actually the more difficult it is to kind of filter through and find the right thing. And also, recruiters suck. I've talked to tons of hackers, I've talked to tons of startups, and just the biggest problem that they have is that a lot of these recruiters are non-technical and don't really understand the market and waste their time. Startups actually don't really care that much about paying for talent because they're trying to move as quickly as possible, they're raising good rounds right now, and they would gladly trade money for talent. The problem that they have with recruiters is that they waste their time. So with HackMatch, you get a guarantee of a dozen intros, and if there's no one that you want to hire in those first dozen intros, then your next placement's free. So that's kind of how I've attacked that problem. So this is another like interesting insight. Within the next 2 years, hackathons are going to be producing more technical talent than all of the CS programs in the US combined. So my background, I started MHacks at Michigan about 1.5 years ago. Until last weekend, it was the largest hackathon in the world. And then after MHacks, I helped start this thing called Major League Hacking, which is kind of like the NCAA of hackathons. And this semester alone, we had 10,000 students participate in the events. And next year, we plan on having 50,000 students. And then within 2 years, as I said, we'll have more students participating in those events than studying CS. And another interesting anecdote, at least, is that it's easier for me to place someone who's done 6 or more hackathons than PhD students in CS right now. And this particularly at startups, but it was also like an interesting experience for me. So this is kind of the assumption that I've been going in with. If you bring the women to the club, the guys are going to try to find a way to get in. They'll do anything to get in. And in this particular market, hackers are extremely attractive women right now, and startups will do anything to get in front of them and have a chance to pitch them on joining. So I've just been kind of going in with the complete assumption that all of the startups are down, and that I can take the hacker side from the start and just completely focus on creating a value add for hackers, and that'll end up actually resulting in the best matches for startups too. So scalability, that's my biggest question. I wake up every morning and ask myself, I figured this out on a micro level. I've made a dozen placements since the year started. I just started charging. I was actually going to come out here to raise, but one of my advisors was like, you should just start charging right now since you're doing something valuable. So I'm not going to have to raise because I already have revenue coming in. And my goal for the end of the year is to do $1 million in revenue, which is about 100 placements. I've done a dozen so far, and I'm getting better at it really, really quickly. And I also just last weekend brought on my co-founder, who started PenApps, which used to be the largest hackathon in the world before I started MHacks. And he kind of inspired me to do that. He's been a mentor to me for a while, and we wanted to work together for about 2 years. So I just brought him on last week. And yeah, my vision for the world is that you can literally just build awesome shit and don't worry about anything else. I'll take care of all of it. So I'm trying to scale as quickly as possible. I'll be growing the team out this summer to prepare for the load of the next fall recruiting season. And then after this next school year, I'll be expanding out to more like senior dev positions. Yeah, any questions?
So I was 100% understood everything until you said bring women to the party.
So it's a market. market where
I know
there's
that,
a really
but
lopsided
are
supply and demand.
the only hackers you're recruiting through this, or helping to get jobs, female hackers?
No. So what I'm saying is
I
that
was making an analogy.
I was making an analogy. Yeah.
And
So in
hackers
the
are women.
No, it was gloves like women.
in the nightlife
If you
market.
bring hackers, then startups will.
Oh, because so let me really spin.
Yeah.
Female hackers are fairly rare, but they're amazing.
I agree.
So, and there's, these Stanford students, what's the name of the female CS club here at Stanford? G++. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, but get that sort of thing going in addition to everything else we've got going, because I think startups really need to hire female hackers, not just
100%.
hackers.
And it's
And
interesting.
they'll probably, just,
And it's an interesting problem actually because a lot of startups are so used to recruiting male candidates that a lot of the recruitment processes, a lot of the evaluation that they do is biased actually because that's the market that they've been used to addressing. So I actually look forward to a point in time in the future where I'll have more leverage with startups because I've kind of proven myself and be able to influence their recruiting process to make it much more fair and much more accurate, I guess. And I think that'll be a huge benefit that I'll be able to add to both companies and to the market in general.
a few questions. What is the hackathon that is now slightly larger than yours?
LA Hacks. I actually was handing out stickers all of yesterday because I made a bet with
Is
them.
that the one that was based in USC?
UCLA.
UCLA, sorry.
Yeah. So I helped them, but yeah, they're bigger now, which is awesome.
Not the one. Okay, the other thing is, are you a team?
Yes. So
Who's on it, and do you have a slide about the team?
so I don't have a slide about my team. Both of us come from a background of kind of like starting this hackathon movement. We're both CS. Well, I dropped out a year ago. He just graduated M&T at Penn. Yeah, we're both just like really passionate about this problem and like kind of really see eye to eye on this vision that there's room in the market to just build things and not have to worry about anything else.
Right, I would, like I said to everybody else, bring on a really talented female hacker.
Yeah. So actually, the first two people that we're looking to hire, one of them is one of the two people who built AngelList Talent. We're looking to snipe him, and then also there's a good friend of ours. She does machine learning, and we're actually going to be implementing some algorithms into our